First time I've been out of the room. It's nice out here. Really, first time I get on the elevator to come down.
When did you get here?
Here? Sunday night. Sunday afternoon.
Try to get outside.
I'm planning on going outside. Breathe. Ethan, what do you think?
Everyone's a tight ship this
Now,
guy.
Ethan's a bundle of fun down here, I'm telling you. We're going to hit the streets tonight. Used to be, there's no trade show now. They used to be great. The trade show. They have one? There's a trade show here?
Well, I mean, there's a minor league side. I'm assuming I haven't gotten one.
I used to love the trade show. I used to love the, you could actually walk through the lobby.
You can walk through this lobby.
It's jobs, it's kind of sad. So many jobs. Anyway.
I saw Ethan have a Bud Light the other night. Let his hair down.
Who?
Ethan.
Ethan had a Bud Light.
One beer. Maybe half a beer.
That's must-see entertainment, that.
I don't know. It didn't stick around to count, but...
Just all on the record.
Who's Ethan going to get in trouble with? I don't know. What's up? Nothing that we can talk about?
What do you think of the off-season so far?
Good. A lot of work to do. Got good people in place to do it. Got a lot of things that we're trying to do.
What's your
Got a
reaction?
couple of coaching staff we're getting close to filling. We're working on that, and they've had a lot of things like nutritionists. Carson's not going to be back with us. She's going to do something closer to home, so we got to fill that. It's a big position. Important things like that may not seem as important as players, but things we still got to be on top of.
What was your reaction when you heard Jake took the
Oh,
Texas
we
offer?
were happy for him and his family. They it's a good place. I know Chris Young played for me. He's a good man, and I think the world of Bruce. So he's moving to a good situation, and contrary to what a lot of people try to, it wasn't something that he had preordained. It's something that kind of played itself out, and it's one of those offers he couldn't afford to pass up. And we wish him well. It's been a good place.
Pitcher that you would hypothetically be bringing in to replace him. I know you can't talk openly, but generally speaking, as a manager, that's a different personality, and you've got another big personality in that room, Max. What is the challenge for you as a manager in making all that mesh?
Well, you got. I really have to be careful about commenting on something that hadn't come to pass. I don't want to jinx us, but that would be assuming that we didn't have some of that last year. We had, everybody when they get to this level has that. So those type of things are my job, and the teammates' job, and the coach's job, and I've found it's not that hard to make whatever adjustments need to be made when you got really good players. But we'll see how it works out when everything, the smoke clears, and we see who we have going to St. Lucie and who we don't, and who we might acquire during the course of St. Lucie. We have all these timelines like, if you don't sign or do this by the time winter meetings are over, off season is over. We added Adam Ottavino in spring training last year. Not many people pitched better than he did out of the bullpen. So, just because things are delayed don't mean they're denied.
You shouldn't wait till spring training this time to sign him.
Pardon?
You shouldn't wait till spring training this time to sign
Adam?
him. Yeah.
Got to have cooperation on both sides. We like Adam, and I think he kind of likes us, and we'll see if it fits in the scheme of trying to put a complete team together.
Buck, we saw Francisco Alvarez come up at the end of the year a little bit. What role do you envision him playing with the club next year?
Well, we'll see if if there's an opportunity somewhere along the way for him to make a club. Whether with him, I think it's got a chance to be when and not if. But there's still some things that every young player you'd like to they're not ever going to be a finished product when they get to the big leagues in today's game. But you know, we'll see how he does in the spring. We'll see how the rest of the off season. But we're glad he's on our side. We think he's got a chance to be a good player in the big leagues.
What are some of the main things you'll be watching for him to improve upon here this coming year?
For him,
Yeah.
I think one thing that was obvious to me, he's going to, you know, the whole thing works well with others. He's very coachable, very sponge-like. He wants to learn. His ego, you know, we had a lot of pitchers go down on rehabs and stuff. They all came back and spoke highly of Ali. So that part of it, I like that he's a pleaser. You know, he wants to bring what, and he doesn't have all the answers. He's a guy that's I think he's gonna improve as he goes forward. And got to keep in mind he's 21 years old, but he's got a chance to be a really good player.
Do you think the lineup needs more power?
Not necessarily. You know, it depends on how you define power. Just purely home runs. You know, we scored enough runs to win, and the better pitchers are, sometimes the less home runs that are given up. So no, I don't stay up at night about, oh gosh, we got to have X number of power and let's add X number of strikeouts. And you know, to beat the really good pitchers, you have to be able to do some things other than just hit home runs. So no, I don't think that's a prerequisite. You know, if I know if you're looking at something where we didn't rank highly compared to other clubs in baseball, at the end of the day, we did win 101 games. So you know, offensively, it must have been doing something right.
Well, you guys scored plenty of runs. I think you were 7th in the majors in slugging percentage, but only 15th in home runs.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, you know,
Yeah, doubles, triples.
power. I mean, it kind of depends on what you like philosophically, I guess, offensively.
I like when there's a W next to our name at the end of the game. I don't, you know, how we get there, we get there. You know, saying this is exactly who we are. You have to have some versatility to you, because on a given night, pitcher's a lot better than some other guys, and you can't play that game. You don't go, hey guys, we need to hit for power tonight. Hey, we need to do this tonight. It doesn't work that way. So, no, I'm comfortable with the approach that we took last year and the way we went about it, and hope to improve on some of that. We'd all like to have the perfect player, high average, 30, 40 home runs and all that stuff, but very few of those exist. I think they're talking about one right now where he's going to end up, right?
How would you feel about Marte playing center field if it comes to that?
I think with Starling, he's willing to do whatever we want him to do, but I found out with him, getting to know him, you know, Joey's been great. Cora, with having him, is that whatever you're going to do with him, let's be up front, tell him what's expected, and kind of leave it alone. Don't be moving him all over the place. We found that with the batting order. We found that with right field, left field, center field in the spring. He'll do whatever. You know, understand, going last year, he hadn't played right field.
Right.
So to make it work, you know, he played it for us. So that would have to be something that I'd have to, he'd be willing to do it, but you have to get ahead of it and be consistent in how you go about it.
But from a wear and tear standpoint on his legs, does that concern you?
You know, there's some people will tell you that right field might be as much, if not more, wear and tear. You know, center field, they say there's more territory, but there's also a lot of decelerations in right field that you don't have in center field. The decelerations are really what I worry about more.
You guys had a lot of free agents come off the roster. What is it like as a manager? You know these guys well, whether it's Jake, Nimmo, Michinadavino.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like as a manager, obviously wanting some of these guys back, but also, you know, wanting for them what's good for them in their careers and their lives?
You know, one, you become, you know, aware of their lives and what's going on in reality over the course of the season. You try to stay in it, but you know, we'd like to have them all back, but it just doesn't work that way. And you want what's best for them, but you also selfishly want what's best for your club. I have a lot of confidence in, you know, watching how Billy and the front office worked last year before I got here, and so I have a lot of confidence in where we're going to end up this year. And it's not always revealed to you like right now. We all want everything to be right now so we can write about it and project about it and say what's right and wrong and where the pitfalls are, but it just doesn't work that way. But not everybody cooperates. You can have this great trade set up and oh, they should want this and we'll get this. And you call them, they go, nope. Yeah, but you should, nope. Sometimes the cooperation's not there. You get a phone call from an agent say we're going to this place tomorrow. Just want to let you know. So,
What was your reaction to DA?
a good one. Edwin's as good as it gets. I don't think I've ever had a closer from start to finish that good. And love the fact how much he wanted to be here. I think he respected the way that we respected how he rebounded. I like the fact that he's had his nose bloodied and he knows what it's like to come back from that. I think he showed last year the ability to adjust on a given night. And he was very honest with us, and he knew we listened to what he was saying. But I don't think he's one of those guys that will assume just because he had X amount of success in the last season that it's going to be there for next year. He knows he has to go out and earn it every night. There's no secrets. Everybody knows what he's bringing.
You
If
mentioned
you do have to sort of reconfigure the outfield and Nimmo is not an option, would you be comfortable with McNeil, leadoff hitter, or is there another option there that you would like for that spot?
Well, Brandon did such a good job leading off. That's going to be a challenge. We could look at it differently, but we have some options from within that I'd be comfortable with. Not sure yet until we see how the rest of it constructs itself, what direction we'll go. But you mentioned a couple of good options there with Starling and Jeff. But we're holding out hope that somehow works out with Brandon.
You've been recruiting.
You and your group are talking to free agents. Talk specifically about playing in New York, what it takes to play in New York, what it takes to handle New York.
To a point, I don't think you become a prisoner to it. There's pressure to play in Kansas City. Okay, we always seem to think we have a corner on it. I've been in other places, and there's expectations, and a lot of them are self-driven. The pressure. It's kind of. I think sometimes we go, oh gosh, he could play there, but he couldn't play there. I don't know. If you're a good player, you can play anywhere. And I've seen some people that they'll go, oh, he'll struggle in New York. No, he didn't. Oh, he'll be fine with it. No, he wasn't. So what's driving that? Play better. So I hear a lot of that, and there's probably some truth to it. Okay, it just depends on how you're wound. I think it's a snowball place. You got to. One thing we liked about Adam is that Adam out of England might have had not so good night, but he never snowballed him. He didn't let it go. Now it might be from the fact that he's from New York, and he loved it when he would. Well, the few times he might struggle, he loved the fact we put him out there again the next night, because you look for that in players but you look at it everywhere. You don't want bad times to snowball. And I think that's one thing you look for. You're going to sit around and feel sorry for yourself and wallow around in pity. And they're in New York. They're always waiting to embrace you. You just got to give them something to embrace you. They want you to be good. They want you to do well. They're not just waking up going, "Hey, please be bad for my team." You control it.
There's a Japanese free agent pitcher, Senga.
There's actually 3 of them. But go ahead.
So what do you think about him?
Senga? Like him. You agent? How much you want? Make a deal right here. You sign him? Would you sign him?
Yes.
How many years?
No, no, I'm not agent.
No, but how many years do you think he'll get? 5? Which one? I know, that's what everybody's trying to figure out. And it's tough to project those guys, But a good pitcher is a good pitcher. You're always thinking about, the load of pitching every 5th day compared to, the other one. But they said that about some really good Japanese pitchers that came over here and did well. So he's a good one. We've talked with him, and he's impressive. You can see why they think so highly of him. I enjoyed our little talk with him.
You have a lot of experience, Koji and Wada.
I talked to Koji about it.
what does Koji think?
He's always going to. I had to actually talk to Koji's wife. She and my wife stayed friends, and she kind of interpreted for us.
You say it's hard to project those guys. Why?
Just every fifth day. You know, it's kind of like a Friday night pitcher in college baseball. You know, they're pitching maybe once a week. All of a sudden you're asked to post up every fifth day. Now they're throwing 140, 150 pitches in that once a week thing. So can you shorten them up at 90 to 100 and have them pitch every fifth day? Okay, what if you're wrong? So that's the thing you're always considering.
What do you think of I understand there's some things you can't talk about, but the state of the rotation generally right now with several free agents, deGrom gone, etc.
Getting there. You know, brought Carlos back, potentially adding a guy if we get through the physical. I know all the names and people we're talking about, whether it be free agents or trades, and the parameters to work in. I'm confident we'll have some good pieces by the time we break camp to play the Marlins.
Just back
What
to
do you
the
think
outfield for a second, with some of the questions we're asking about Marte, where he might play. How much easier would make your life if you do get Brandon back?
Of course, you know, we'd like to have him. He's a good player. He's established himself, and you know, he had a post-up good physical year where he, for whatever reason, he seemed to get through a lot of things that have been a challenge in the past. It didn't snowball into something where he had to sit out a lot of games. So that was good to see. So he answered some questions there that he's capable of it. Was he 30? And Brandon got better every year he played. You know, he improved. And so somebody will get a good person and a good player. We hope it's us. But if not, we have to be ready to pivot and move in another direction.
What is the most important thing the Mets have to do this offseason?
I'd probably look at it a little differently than some other people.
That's why I'm asking.
We got a couple of coaches. We had a really good coaching staff last year. One of the better ones I've had. So we got a couple of coaches to add. Just from my standpoint, the rest of it kind of take care of itself. I'm going to manage the players that GM that I have a lot of confidence in and owner put in front of me. And I'm looking forward to seeing who we end up with.
Aside from the bullpen coach opening, what do you have another opening or
assistant hitting coach?
Right.
Which is basically the assistant hitting coach became the head.
Yeah.
And then we kind of added, Glenn's going to have this, at some point we're going to end up with Glenn spending a lot of time with Alvarez. So I'm not sure when that'll be, but we got to be ready for that.
Is he in uniform still, Glenn?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He better not be. Glenn, I know Chavi's need a lot of help with the spring training scheduling and stuff.
Gold gloves don't help.
It's a developing skill set that he's going to get better at. But it'll be fun. We had a good one. Glad Jeremy got back on board. That was big. Got Harrison signed.
How long?
10 years.
Lifetime contract?
2 years. That's what I got. I don't know what he signed for, but it was a good sign. We've already had a good offseason. We got a meeting tomorrow with the rules and all the new stuff coming in. I'm taking Harrison with me. That's going to be must-see entertainment. Because he's going to. Any questions? Harrison's going to put his hand up. They already used a couple of his challenges last year in the meeting this morning as an example. Pretty cool. He's lost his humbleness, though. He's pretty good at it. He's pretty good.
You shouted him out too much. That's on you.
Why won't we let somebody do an article on him? Now that he's got a contract, I wish somebody could sit with him during a game and look at the game the way he looks at it. Like, we pick up the phone, he's already looked at 5 replays.
Let's make it happen.
You know what the key is? He knows how to work the machinery to get to angles before we even get to the phone. He's the best I've ever seen.
How many have you seen?
And when 10, we've changed in the middle of the year a couple times. It's kind of like team doctors. I go, listen, we're going to ask your opinion. Give it. Now, if you're wrong 10 times in a row, we'll get another doctor. But if you sit on the fence, we're definitely going to get another doctor. Yes or no. So, Harrison never gives us ooh, that's a tough one, Buck. I love the fact that he'll go, He's probably out, but they will not overturn that. That's the tough one, is you know what they will overturn and what they won't. He's good.
What did you see in Jeremy Barnes? That
Competition. Somebody to take him. He's good.
Yeah.
Players liked him. He brought something that we were in need of, and we had an opportunity and a way to keep him, and we did. It's good. You know, we were lucky to have Glenn could do anything. He's coached third, coached first, been a bench coach, been, you know, you name it, Glenn's been it. And it helps, you know, Eric still will have some input. Really, it's a way to have almost 3 hitting coaches in today's game. Everybody's got an assistant, right? You got an assistant?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you got somebody stands in for you every once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But they can't carry your shoes.
Wow, who the hell can?
Joel's his assistant.
Is he?
Couple more, we got someone behind him.
Good. Who's coming up next? Who? You say it out loud. OJ, good. What else we got? Let's see. What question would I ask if I were y'all?
What question would you ask?
Could McNeil move to the outfield and play Guillerme every day at second?
Okay.
I don't think we'll go there yet. Guillerme's too valuable to move around. What else would I ask? That's good.
Who's your opening day starter?
Right now, Max.
How about tomorrow?
Oh, what would you do?
Give it to the guy who's been here.
Max didn't pitch opening day last year.
No,
Tyler McGill.
Tyler McGill, yeah.
Classic.
He's having a good offseason.
How so?
He's healthy, throwing well. Sometimes we forget about how big a part he played in everything for a couple of months. Get him back. Shutter? Shutter.
That's it.
Le habla Alcides Escobar y un saludo a todos los fanáticos que sigan viendo por la máquina deportiva y que sigan apoyando el béisbol.
Saludos mi gente aquí directamente Guatatá con la guagua urbana, una vaina gustativa con la gente bacana, lasmaquinasdeportivas.com para que te ponga cloro, para que chequeas a mi sosa y la receta de la crema, una vaina gustativa, la máquina deportiva, ya tú sabes, ponte al día.
Hola, yo soy Bruno, les invito a que sigan con la máquina deportiva.
Bueno, hola, es Andrés Blanco, le invito a que disfruten la máquina deportiva.
Hola, yo soy Iván Nova y un saludo para la máquina deportiva.
Hi, I'm Eric Cosmer. I invite you to watch La Máquina Deportiva. I'm Joe Mauer, inviting you to La Máquina Deportiva.
Hi, I'm Edwin Jackson. I want you to watch La Máquina Deportiva.
Hola, yo soy Wilson Betembi, te invito a La Máquina Deportiva.
Leo Núñez, te invito en La Máquina Deportiva.
Yo soy Pedro Beato, te invito a la máquina deportiva.
Bueno, soy Eduardo Núñez y te invito a la máquina deportiva.
Mi nombre es Luis Ayala, de los New York Yankees, y los invito a que escuchen la máquina deportiva.
Yo soy Pedro Estro y le invito a que sigan viendo la máquina deportiva.
Hola, mi nombre es Anerio Rodríguez y un saludo a Máquina Deportiva.
Mi nombre es Nerio Rosario, un saludo a Máquina Deportiva.
Sí, bueno, mi nombre es Fernando Abad y lo invito a la máquina deportiva.
Hola, soy Tony Peña, los invito a que sigan con la máquina deportiva.
Yo soy Alex Ríos y los invito a que sigan con la máquina deportiva.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Celina Toribio, un saludo desde mi corazoncito lindo a toda la gente que ve y escucha la máquina deportiva. Me gusta el béisbol, esto tiene su sabor latino, sabor a béisbol, que lo cante mi gente en la esquina caliente. Un beso, gracias por apoyar este programa. Bye.